Well, the boys around here don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where they boot stomp all night. What? Yeah, and what they call work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid, to get the girl in your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys round here drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, shoot her back, shoot her back a spit. Oh, heck. Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that yawling southern drawl and just can't help it 'cause they just keep falling for the boys around here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back a bit.
Let's ride through the countryside. Let's ride down to the riverside.
Hey now girl, hop inside. Me and you gonna take a little ride to the river. Let's ride. That's right. Lay a blanket on the ground. Kissing in the crickets is the only sound. We out of town. Have you ever got down with a do you wanna get down with a girl, you gotta get down with the boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back. I'm one of them boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and
Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back a spit. Welcome to the WINGIT call, Trust Call, September 22nd, 2016. How's everybody doing today? Let's just get right into it. Richard, take it away. Oh, wait. I know, normal disclaimer. We're not attorneys, CPAs, or financial advisors, and this is our opinion. And for proper legal counsel and legal guidance, please seek your own professional guidance, and the rest of the disclaimer is at the wingitcall.com underneath the disclaimer tab. Thank you. Richard, go ahead.
Jerry, thank you. Are you recording, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you for letting me do this today. I want to also jump right in, and I want to, again, handle something that I've had to do recently, and what I want to do, what I want to accomplish with what I'm about to discuss here is something that Jerry and I have talked about. I wasn't aware of, of what was going on, but apparently there is someone out there that is calling the Master's Trust issue a scam, and it's out there, and I can't figure out the agenda of the person who's doing it, and I want to just basically reassure you that you are well handled. You're handled by a law firm, which if whoever this guy is took 2 seconds to understand, and he cared. He could check into. It's easy to verify. I've had had one lady that called me not too long ago, and she said, "Have you heard what's going on?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "There's not much I can do about it." And I said, "If you have some concerns," I said, "my first call, and I don't want to do this because they're not going to take 5,000 phone calls." And I said, "If you have a real concern, just call the law firm. The law firm will verify that I am a contractual, that I have a contractual agreement with Masters Copyrights LLC, which is fully owned, 100% owned by the Rosen Law Firm. And everything that I do is out in front. There is no concern whatsoever. Again, I have no idea what the agenda of this guy is. I just don't know. But the other thing I want to talk about here is concerning Jerry. And I want to reassure people that he is not involved in what we're doing here. About 6 months ago, and I still hate him for it, but he called me on a Saturday afternoon about noon, and he said, "How would you like to be on a call to talk about trust?" Because there are a lot of people that have questions. They want to do one. I called the law firm. I told them I was going to do it. And we worked out a program, which I talked to everyone about at that point. But other than providing the format, and this call to talk to people like all you guys, other than that, he is not involved in this in any way. He has not received a penny for this. As a matter of fact, whatever we've done here, he's been gracious enough to provide. And this is what the ironic part is, and people don't know this, but I'm going to say this, is that he has actually paid out of his pocket some deposits for people that couldn't afford it. So again, not only has there's no financial agreement, he has not taken a dime, but he also was gracious enough to take care of some people that that had done stuff for him, and he was doing it for them. So that's the only thing that I just want to reassure everyone that you're in good hands. You will be represented by a law firm. Technically right now, there have been several people that have gotten their full trust. They are a client of the law firm. Technically, people who've done the deposit program, technically not, but you will be. You'll be provided top-rate tax people. You can make your own decisions about whether you use them or not, but people who've been in business for a long, long time, just like the law firm has. So I'm going to leave it there. I just want to reassure everyone that you've made the right decision. This is a great trust for what we're doing. It's easy to manage, and we'll just leave it there. Now, I want to clear up, again, take one more shot right at the RV time and the applications. Someone called me and said, well, how soon after the RV are you guys going to go back to work? And I said, what do you mean? They said, we'll work right through it. And they said, well, you're not going to be doing some trusts afterwards. And I said, no, we are. We're going to be plowing through these things. When you guys send the balance, we're going to plow through the trusts, kick them out. And I said, and I want people to pay attention to this. If you have a serial number, which is on your the cover letter, everybody knows, I hope by now, that you have a serial number. It's a 6-digit serial number. That if you have one of those, you can have trusts lined up after the fact. And we're just going to get them out as soon as we possibly can after the RV. It's going to take a little time, but we will get them out. Our delay is going to be for people who don't have a serial number with us that want new trusts, because we're going to delay that just a little bit because we don't want to put anybody, especially ourselves, in jeopardy of people trying to backdate the trust to cover the increase in value of the currency. They can come to us, people can come to us after the fact for asset protection, which is the best thing in the world. They come to us for the tax deferral of the money that earns money in the trust. If you treat it correctly in the trust as extraordinary dividends, it's not considered income to the trust. So there's still some benefits after the fact, but we're just going to try not to create a problem with someone trying to backdate it or come right in there. We're probably going to back off and wait a week or two before we do any new trusts. And I'm talking about new trusts to new people that don't have a serial number. So I hope that clears that up. The next thing I want to talk about is, and I think I mentioned on the last call, if it's more convenient for someone, I now can can take credit cards for deposits or any other payment. So if people either haven't paid their deposit or they're thinking about sending in an application for a trust, I can do the deposit on a credit card if that serves your purpose. Happy to do it. Just call me, but I have to send you, or email me rather, or text me. Don't call me, leave a message. Just text me or email me. And text is better to send the one-page application for the credit card. It's not an application; it's a authorization. Simple to fill out. And do me a favor also and put your name and where you want me to send it. Don't assume that I'm going to know, because I don't have everybody's number in my faves, so to speak. The final thing before we open it up for a while, Jerry, and I'm just going to leave it up to you as how long we do this thing, is I want to clarify the meeting that we're going to have here in Orange County. And it's actually going to be just 2 days. It's going to be a half a day on the 11th of October and a full day on the 12th of October. But this is not going to be a meeting that's going to be what ultimately we're going to have in Dallas, Texas. So this is going to be the afternoon of the 11th is going to be for people who we have expressed an interest in representing the trust in other parts of the country, and for people who have clients that want to that they may refer clients to us, that's going to be what the afternoon of the 11th is going to be, and the 12th is going to be introduction to people who have expressed a real desire to explore either the business trust, the charitable trust, or the real estate trust. And that's going to be more of hands-on. It's not going to be the program, the basic program like we're going to ultimately have in Dallas and maybe some other parts of the country after the RV. So I wouldn't travel. It's not going to be what you're going to look for. It's going to be more of an advanced hands-on session. And if it's still something that someone wants to consider, just send me an email. We can talk about it. We're actually going to try to keep it to under 25 people, 20 to 25 people. So if you have an interest and you want to explore, and not in the future, not after the RV, just now, it's going to be hands-on on business, charitable trusts, and the real estate trust. So just send me an email. Some people have already expressed a desire to attend, but it's not going to be basic hands-on training like you're going to get at the at the Dallas meeting and other places after the RV. So, with that, Jerry, if we want to take some calls for a while, we can do that if you want to. That's about all I wanted to cover.
1 second. I'm responding to an email. I'm multitasking, and please don't tell anybody. That's just between you and I, okay?
I promise I won't tell anybody.
You're not
it's
kind of
like able to do that.
And we had a private talk the last call about looking for executive assistants. I had a thought on that, but that seems that got out too, darn it. All right, star 2 to raise your hand if you want to ask a question. I'm sure that, there we go, there's a few people. I need a couple more to raise their hands. I know we've got 200 callers on here with one person with their hand raised. This could be the shortest call in history. Yes, that's what I'm dealing with in mail. Thank you very much. Ha, ha, ha. I just got a text. I'm not even going to repeat what it says. Some people are so funny. Here we go. Baltimore, Maryland. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry. Hi, Richard. How are you all today?
Good.
Richard, we had started the trust, got the serial number, and then, a lot of fear has been out there, and I was afraid to follow through because of, a lot of things, and one thing was that the fact that you were the settler, I believe, and that we turned our currency in a gift letter over to the trust, which we do not have in hand, basically because it has to be put together. So what can you say to alleviate that fear? I mean, because I would like to move forward with this.
Well, I mean, what's your fear? I don't understand your fear. Did you receive the packet? Did you receive the packet from me?
Yes, and we haven't paid for it because someone put a fear into me that you as a settler and putting our currency in a gift letter to the trust, which we do not have in hand, could mean that you all could come after our currency.
No, that's a great question.
How
okay,
can
let's
you eliminate that fear?
Am I your settler on the trust?
Yes.
Okay. The settler, on the trust, and you haven't read it yet, on the first page of the trust goes into great detail. The settler has a very short-lived job. This is a non-grantor trust. And I had a conversation with someone who said, a non-grantor trust means that the future trustee of the trust, which would be you, is not granting your initial assets into the trust. And the position of the settler was created, it is only for one reason and one reason only, is to appoint you as the initial trustee of the trust. And then the settler's job is done. The settler cannot have, and the second paragraph on the trust goes into great detail about the fact that the trustee cannot have any equitable, the settler cannot have any beneficial interest in the trust, can't have any equitable interest in the trust. I can't ask, if I'm your settler, which I've done for several people, then I can't ask you questions about what's in your trust. I have no business. I'm totally out of your trust. Now, if you go forward with this into the full trust, you're going to have to be involved with me again. But that's fine. But it goes, the second paragraph goes into great detail that the settler of the trust, once they appoint you as the initial trustee and the compliance overseer, is totally out of the trust and has no interest or no rights in the trust after that. You as the settler, you as the trustee, are the only person that can assign assets into the trust or accept assets into the trust. And if you're not gifting, you have in your documents, you have the letter of conveyance, and that's the form with the lines on it.
Yes.
Okay, that is what you list your currency on.
Okay.
And you're the only one. See, on the signature there, you're the only one. There's two places for two signatures. One is where once you list your currency on that sheet, you're not gifting it into the trust. You're assigning it for the trust to hold your currency in trust. And you're the trustee of that. And you're the only one.
What do you mean by hold? It's not a
Well,
possession then of the trust?
Well, technically, the reason that it can't be, it's not, it's held in trust. The technical thing, it's not owned by the trust. It's held in trust for the benefit of the beneficiaries, technically. Okay, a trust is set up for the beneficiaries. You as the trustee have functions to do what's in the best interest of the trust and the best interest of the beneficiaries. But you're the only one who can do that. So on the first signature, when you list your currency, and you're going to take one line for each one of the gross totals. So for argument's sake, if you had 4 denominations of Iraqi dinar that added up to 4 million dinar, you just write 4 million Iraqi dinar on one line. The money's not going anywhere. It stays exactly where you are. You're assigning it to the trust, endowing it to the trust, whatever you want to call it, and then the trust holds it in trust for the parties to the trust. So you already have that signature, and one of the things that I do, did we ever talk after you got your document?
No, we didn't.
Well,
and I didn't pay for it. It was dated August 1st. Can we still do it?
Well, see, that's one of the things that we would have done. That's the reason I say after you look over your documents, give me a call. And I have done this for some people that didn't have a settler, or because there's no risk in it for anybody, and there's no way I can. And if there's anybody out there that's on that has their full trust, I think they can verify that paragraph is in there. So there's no. There's absolutely no risk, because the settler on all of these, everybody would have the same problem. But there's nothing.
Well, understand, we don't know you. Everybody uses, a stage name, as I say it, and there's so much fear out there right now. And I'm a trusting person, and sometimes I'm accused of not being more careful about what I do, and I guess fear got to me. And I want this trust. I believe in it, and I just was scared that somehow through that conveyance that it would be turned over to Master's Trust, and I would lose my currency. And I know that's terrible.
But is Master's Trust
Richard?
Yeah.
Richard.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say there was a person on here, but they dropped off. They have your full trust, but they dropped off. Go ahead. I was going to have them speak to her, but it's okay.
Rather than this is a good lesson for everybody. If there's doubt out there, don't sit back and be scared. Go out and aggressively vet and find out. There's ways to find out. I mean, the worst that happens is you call. I mean, I know the process. You're going to call, and this is what I would do: is call. And if you really have doubts, and I'm sure that they don't want the calls down there. But there are ways to find out that I'd start with a law firm without calling them. Have a friend, an attorney friend, go into the state bar records. Check out Rosen and Rosen Law Firm. Been in business for 37 years, have not had a complaint about them. And this is where you've got to use a little bit of I'd say common sense. And this is not personal, but just common sense. If you check the Bar Association and that checks out, then if this had been a scam of any kind, don't you think that people would have been lined up with complaints against the Rosen Law Firm? And they haven't had a complaint. And I'm telling you that the Texas bar, if it's anything like the California bar, you are guilty until proven innocent. So you just don't sit back and be scared. Do something and check it out. Go to the Better Business Bureau. That's another good thing. There's plenty of avenues to resolve the issue. So that's that's what we do on everyone. Everyone has think about this. People all over the country have set up bank accounts. If someone is here in Southern California and they can drive, I've met a lot of people here, a lot of our clients. I actually take them into the bank and introduce them to my guy, and he sits down and bangs out their accounts and gets them done. He knows how to do it. So I don't know. Do you have? Hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, that's good, Richard. You know, my initial is I trust Jerry, and I do trust you, but I feel like sometimes I am not cautious enough, and all these fears started, especially right now. There's so many gift letter fears going around that was the thing that bothered me more than the trust itself, was the conveyance of the currency into the trust.
Yeah, but on those documents, there's nowhere on there does it says Master's Trust or the Rosen Law Firm. It's all your information. And if you had a reason to want me to be your settler, I agreed to that because I know there's no risk in doing that on my end, because I have to get your tax ID number. I have to use my social to get your tax ID number. So I know there's no risk, and there's nothing on there about Master's Trust. And I wish somebody was on here because when you get your trust, the settler, after you're appointed the trustee and the compliance overseer, you're the person in charge. Nobody else.
Okay, Richard, let me take a stab at this, so we can move on to another caller.
Okay.
And if you have any more questions, you can actually go to the Masters Trust website, masterstrust.com, and they've got tabs in there that talk about exactly like this. And one of the other things I was going to tell you, this popped in my brain. If you're speaking to another attorney and you say a spendthrift trust, you're not telling him the whole thing, and they're going to go, oh, a spendthrift trust, well, you've got to do this, this, and this. You have to explain to him everything, the whole thing, because otherwise he's going to get confused. All right, it's a non-grantor, discretionary spendthrift trust. I'm missing one, but you've got to say all of that. Otherwise, it's going to get confusing for the attorney, because there are just spendthrift trusts out there.
Here's the other thing too. Is I've mentioned this several times before. If you're taking this and you want an attorney to look at it, go to the website, print out the attorney's opinion letter. I include an attorney's opinion letter in every package that goes out. You would have gotten one.
Right. Yes, I did.
Okay, I can't impress on anyone out there the risk that an attorney takes by putting their opinion letter out there. That's a disbarable offense. And Paul doubled down. He did two potentially disbarable offenses by putting an opinion letter that would be inaccurate and that video. That video is also potentially could be, if someone wanted to take issue with it. And we've only had 35 years with the Rosen law firm to work the kinks out. I haven't been involved. But take that opinion letter and hand it to an attorney and have that attorney prove that it's not correct. Because the code, the IRS code this complies with is right in there. Those words of irrevocable, complex, non-grantor, discretionary trust with spendthrift provisions is right in there. And it's easy to check out.
I appreciate it.
Okay, ma'am.
Richard. Would it be okay dated from August 1st if I call you next week and get it moving again?
Would it be okay to what?
To pay for it. I didn't send my $500.
That's fine. Take care of that.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
I will do all this head work, and I'll call you next week.
If you want to call me, then let's have a private conversation. Happy to do it.
Okay.
All right, ma'am.
Thank you, Richard. Thanks, Jerry. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
So I don't want to, please don't take this wrong. Want to try to get through as many callers as possible. So if you just ask your one question, let us answer it, because I'll bet you the next question you have will probably be asked or answered as we go through the callers. So here we go. San Antonio, come on down.
Hi, this message is for Richard. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Okay, Richard, I have a master's trust in place. We have an EIN number since May. I put in my initial $500, but I don't recall seeing the letter where you list your currencies or assigning the currencies to the trust. I'm not familiar with that. Could you explain how that's done? Is it too late to do it now that I've already got it set up, and how do I do it? You mentioned putting the letters putting the numbers of the currencies on a paper, but then do I take that to the bank and have them do it? Or?
Look in the documents that you received from me for the letter of transfer and conveyance of property. It's the one. I'm sorry?
I'm looking at it right now, and it's showing my certificate of trustee.
No. Are you looking at the bank stuff or the stuff that you need to get the stuff that Richard sent to you?
I see.
Not the bank stuff.
That's other places right now. So.
Okay, let me explain. Let me explain it. There in your packet that you received from me there is a what's called a letter of transfer and conveyance of property, and on there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. Okay, and on there, what you do is just merely add up all of your currencies, and let's just say that you had on that transfer and conveyance of property, you write on that first line, if it all adds up to 6 million or 4 million Iraqi dinar, you merely write on that first line 4 million Iraqi dinar. The next line, add up all of your dong. If it adds up to 12 million Vietnam dong, you write on the next line 12 million Vietnam dong. The next line, go right down there, and on that is on that letter of transfer and conveyance of property. Now, let me ask you another question. Did you call me after you got your documents to go over this?
Yes, I did, but we didn't discuss depositing the currencies to the account. We discussed other things. I've got a settler set up and everything else, and trustees and all. Okay, now, so you go ahead and you put your currency in there. There's 2 places on there for a signature, plus the witnesses. On the first signature, it's you giving away your currency to the trust. Basically, you're saying, okay, I'm giving this up as a person,
And on the second signature down there, it's got your name, but beside it, it has TTEE, which is the abbreviation for trustee.
Right, got that.
And so you're giving it up, and then you're accepting it as the trustee into the trust. Now then, your currency doesn't move from where it is. You don't take it out from your hiding place. You don't do anything with it. It is now held in trust by your trust, and then when it increases in value, it's not subject to capital gains taxes. Now, as far as the bank is concerned, have you opened up a bank account with Wells?
Yes,
okay.
And I have a checking account made out in the trust name with me as a TTE.
Okay, that's fine, and that's good. But what you don't under any circumstances show them that assignment, because they're still in the mindset, and they will be publicly till this thing happens. And now, when it's my vision, okay, that on the exchange date, if you already have a bank account set up, that it's going to be so much simpler, because I think we're going to go into a room, a secure room. They're going to count what you give them. We're going to haggle, discuss, talk about what's going to be. They're going to come up with a number. And at this point, you're going to hand them your red Wells Fargo debit card or a deposit slip. Put that number on it and say, put it right into my trust account. Boom. It's done. It's in your trust.
Okay. Okay, but they don't need a copy of the letter listed. They don't need a copy of the letter listed in the trust.
That's a private document to you. That's your private document. I don't think they're going to care at that point. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. That answers
Thank
my
you,
question. Thank you, Richard. Move on.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
I want to say this. The trust it's a private trust. The only thing the bank needs to see is the EIN. And if you've never been to Wells Fargo, then they're going to want you, if you don't have any other account set up, they're going to want you to sign a certificate of trustee that they have on file that says you are the trustee of that. You're identifying yourself as a trustee of that account. After that, they don't need to see diddly, period,
right.
No matter what they ask for. And that brings up another, I just had a call probably 30 minutes before the call started. An individual went into Kentucky to U.S. Bank to open up a master's trust. And they said, well, we can't do it unless we have a copy of the whole trust. They do not need that. They don't know what they're talking about. So just go to, and I've also heard that Wells Fargo in Tennessee is also saying the same thing. This is not true. Not true at all. So
if one of the things, and that's right. One of the things I do to people, I'll tell people if they know they're going into the bank, is that if you get there and they're acting weird, just text me 911 bank, and I'll call you right there. And I've talked a whole bunch of bankers. I have to tell them what to do. Wells Fargo, by their policy, is they cannot legally analyze your trust. Now, some banks may. I can pretty much, based on my experience, if you start setting up some investment accounts after the fact, some of the investment places will want to have the first page of your trust and the signature pages. That's okay. They have to have it to be able to set up the account for their policy. But under no circumstances is anybody going to ever, I'm not turning over my trust to anybody. And certainly to make a copy of 80 pages or so, it's not going to happen. And they don't need to do it. They cannot. This is your private trust. Yep.
All right, here we go. Next caller, please, one question. Keep it short. Morristown, come on down. New Jersey.
Hi, Richard.
Hey.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
You
yes.
Can you? Great. My question is, after the RV happens and you set up the meeting for us to be trained more specifically, which will be the one that will be in Texas, will that also cover the business, the charitable, and the real estate trust information as well, if we're interested in that, but don't go to the October 11th and 12th meeting in Orange County?
Yes, it will. It's going to go into great depth. I envision a meeting of a couple of days, probably an overnight stay, and it's going to get into business trust, charitable trust, and in the real estate trust.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And Jerry, it might be a good idea to just have Richard at the end of the call go over the payment information for folks where to send things post-RV. Thanks
Absolutely.
to you both.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, I'll pronounce this wrong, but Fallen, Nevada. Come on down.
Yeah, hey, this is John. Hey, after
doing?
we pay the trust off, how does the attorney's office get paid for taking care of our trust every year, and how much is it?
It'll be $10 million every year for the law firm to there's no when
there's no maintenance fees.
There's no maintenance fees.
None.
People will ask me, are there any ongoing fees with the trust? And I have to be careful. And the answer is yes, but not to the law firm. There's if you've paid a $500 deposit and you owe $45, the law firm, the Masters Copyrights LLC, who the check will be made out to, that's how they get paid. And ongoing, there are no ongoing fees. I have had my trust for, I'll tell people this, I've had it for, 4 years, since 12. And I have never even had, I'm telling you this, but in 4 years, I haven't even had a thought about needing to call Rosen for help with my trust. Now, I've got a contact that I'll call, but it's only technically. It's a technical thing, but you're not going to have issues. Your best friend, you're not going to have. Let me tell you, on your team, you're not going to have a trust attorney, because you got one of the best, knows more than anybody can ever know about trusts. You're not going to have a tax attorney, a trust tax attorney, because you're going to have Richard Stinson down in Dallas. He's been doing this for 35 years. Your best friend is going to be a good part-time bookkeeper that knows how to enter stuff into QuickBooks, and you might have to have a local business attorney to review normal contracts. Now, on investment people, you can have all of that, but you're not going to have what you think you're going to have. You will not. It'll be the rare occasion when you have to go to Rosen.
Okay. Thanks. Have a great day.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome. Rodeo Drive, come on down.
Good day, gentlemen. Richard, my question is this. Right now I cannot get a master's trust because I'm in the middle of the big D. My brother is the one that this is all going to go through, but he is not totally convinced yet. I'm trying to convince him. So if we go into the bank and we just take one of their trusts and zero, just like we just put it all in, we don't want anything out, we don't want a percentage, nothing, is it safe until we can go down and get a master's trust, or are they going to tax us on that?
Well, let me ask are you legally separated?
I'm almost. I've got to sign a piece of paper. I called my attorney the other day, and he goes, I just need your smiling face. And it's a separation under a decree of separate maintenance.
Okay.
So our monies are separated.
Okay. What I would do after that is I think that anybody can set up a trust. if you're legally separated, I would verify this with your attorney, but I think you'll be able to do that. Here's what I've found out, and I don't want this to sound self-serving, but I had to call. I've called banks here, and I started with my branch. I walked in and talked to the branch manager, and I said, if someone wants to open, do you know anything about a what are they calling it? One of those trusts that they're saying Wells Fargo has. If someone comes into Wells Fargo, and every place that I've checked, they refer you outside. They don't have anybody in Wells Fargo that creates trusts. So I don't know where. I'm not saying it's not true. I haven't been able to find it. So the point is that if, and this is the technical issue here, if your currency, if it doesn't matter what it is, whatever you're expecting to increase in value has to be assigned to a trust prior to the increase in value, not the exchange.
After. Okay.
Yeah. But I would,
okay.
I tell you, I can't give you legal advice, but
I know
as soon as you're separated, we can have a conversation.
Then you have options.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay,
All right, man.
But okay, so I'm like screwed if I go in and exchange before it's in a trust.
No, ma'am. I don't. This is me talking.
I think you can.
I think that you can do it now. Now, that's just me talking, because anybody can open up a trust. If you have separate monies, that you can do that. And here's what you can do. Well, this is legal.
Hey, let's just kind of steer away from this, okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, just give me a number at the end. Give me a number at the end, and we can talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Chattanooga, come on down.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Richard, I am trying to look for this serial number that you talked about. I know it's not the EIN number, but you said the cover letter has a serial number.
In the first paragraph of the first page, there is it'll say, "Dear Mr. Yada yada." It'll have the trust name in the first paragraph, and right after the trust name, it says has been assigned serial number, blah blah blah. It was on the first page of what I sent you. It's just an introductory letter.
Okay.
Now,
if I have misplaced,
but but text me. Do you have my number? Text me, and I'll look it up and send it to you.
Okay, that sounds good. I have so many piles of paper around here, so.
Just tell me. Remind me who you
You're
are.
a smart man, aren't you?
Yeah, just text me, and I'll send you the serial number.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
They say that a cluttered desk is a sign of an intellectual person.
Well, he's from Tennessee, so he is an intellectual person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you have to tell my wife that.
No,
right,
not going down that road.
Bye. You're on your own for that one, pal.
All right.
Thank you.
Hanford, California. Come on down.
Hello, that's me.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon. All I need, please, is because I do not have a computer, is if I could get a phone number for Richard, be able to have a conversation with him. That would not be a good idea on this line. that possible,
That's fine.
please?
Yeah. Let me just put it out here right now. 949
949
633
633
4500.
4500. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, last caller of the day, Bartlesville. Come on down. Oklahoma, Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Come on down. You may not be in Bartlesville, but the last four of your phone number is 6147.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question, Richard. I already do have a trust with you. I did the down payment thing, and I sent in additional trust, and I wanted a business trust and a charitable trust. And I already sent that to you, and I didn't hear back from them. I know you all received it, but I forgot. I didn't put the serial number on them. I did put on their post RV for another trust that I wanted and a charitable trust.
Yeah, and that's okay.
So
we're gonna. I'm gonna go. Well, we're gonna sort those out here. I've just been collecting them, and I'm gonna have someone sort them all out. And if we have, it'll be okay. Trust me, you'll be fine.
Okay, because it's been a while. Okay. And
yes,
can
ma'am.
I just make one more statement too? Something I want to clear up. The first lady that talked about being afraid of a trust, I think she got a little confused, and there's confusion out there. On another call, there was a person that were asking people to send in their money to them and to do a gift letter. And they were trying to tell her that's not the same thing. So it was different from your trust. It was something else. It was a person that was actually scamming people, saying that you can't get exchange unless you send us money and gift the currency to us. So I think that's where the confusion is. It has nothing to do with you, but it was somebody else that was doing things. And I think that's where people are getting confused about. So the call that I was always trying to explain to them, that's what it was. I think that's where the fear is coming from, and that's where the misinformation is coming from. These are two separate incidences, have nothing to do with your trust at all. So I just wanted to make that
and that's okay.
Clear that up.
But if someone and also has a question, don't sit. Pick up the phone and call. And if
right.
If I can't satisfy someone, I'll do a three-way and bring in Dallas on it. My contact in Dallas. I've done that many times when they want to hear it from someone else from the law firm. I bring them in, and my contact will satisfy whatever the concern is.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to clear it up for people that were listening and those that were afraid. These are two different incidences that they're talking about. It has nothing to do with your trust. It's another separate person, a separate group of people that are actually scanning people, scamming them and telling them that in order for them to exchange, they have to send in their currency to them and then send in a gift letter. So the call I was on when they were first explaining this, they were thinking it was something else, and it's actually somebody that's scamming them, and they were telling you not to send in a gift letter. But that had to do with that person doing a scam. It had nothing to do with your trust.
Okay.
So that's why I want to clear that up. That's where the confusion came in at.
And yeah, thank you. And I've had people say, "Where do I send my currency to?" And I just say, "Wait, no, you're not. No one's sending any currency anywhere. This is your assignment is on paper only."
Right.
So there you go. Thank you for that, though. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're welcome. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so what I need you to do, Richard, is plainly, clearly, concisely, twice explain to people post-RV where they're going to send their money and what they write on the cashier's check or whatever they do.
Okay. After the RV, and you're paying off an existing balance on a trust, you're going to make the check out to Masters Copyrights LLC. Now, it doesn't have to be a cashier's check, but it's faster if it is, and it's faster if it's a postal money order, but there's no need to do that. you're going to mail it to my address here. The law firm already has electronically all of your files, and very soon they're going to have the paper files too. So that once I get that letter, I communicate. I verify the check, tell them to process. Excuse me a second. Sorry. To process the order, and it puts you in line. Hang on a minute.
Wingman, call me when this is over.
Okay. Then it puts you in line to get your trust, and the trust will be first in, first out. At the same time, for people who have that and have other ones, we're going to start that process also. But I wouldn't just send. What I would do would be to send in your $4,500, unless you had an emergency to get another one set up. I would, and especially if you're thinking about business trusts, charitable trust, and real estate trusts, wait till after the meeting to do that, so you can talk about it. But get your deposit in, so it's first in, first out. So it'll be sent to the Newport Beach address. So that address, by the way, is 220 Newport Center Drive, number 11-303, Newport Beach, California, 92660. And that'll come in, and then that's how then I communicate to the law firm that I've received it. They'll start the production on it. They'll ship it out to you, to the address that you put on the front page of your trust. One of the other things, in case for the people, there's a reason sometimes. I have an email address of rh@masterstrust.com. But one of the things, this guy, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, this guy said about changing emails. I also put my iPad email in there, which is rth6996@gmail.com. And there's a reason for that. And it's just a business reason, is all it is that since I'm on my computer all day long, and I may have other things open on my main computer, I want to be able to see it on my iPad. So I will tell people on applications and things to send it to RTH, because I can see it, it'll pop up, and I don't have to wait till I close out my computer during the day. I can take care of things. So it's just a simply business reason that sometimes I want this stuff to come into my iPad. All there is. I may put the address in the contact part of the website too, Jerry.
Hey, can you repeat your address again one more time?
Yes. It is, send it to my attention, and it's 220 Newport Center Drive, number 11-303, Newport Beach, California, 92660.
And I want to say this. Richard, and only Richard, is a licensed authorized agent for Masters Trust. I am not a licensed agent. I can talk about it because I have one myself. So there's a big difference between being an authorized agent and somebody that's just talking about it. I'm not collecting any money. It's going straight to the law firm. I don't know what confusion there would be about how I'm an authorized agent. I am not. I'm just helping. So that's it. Well, Richard, it's been a good day.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, thanks for doing this.
And I think we've reached the end here.
Good. All right.
The replay will be out here shortly. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Good day.
Where are we at? Recording? No, right there. Goodbye.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye.